In this video, I'll discuss PowerShell's comparison operators. Now, PowerShell is well named. It's got power right in its name, and you can use comparison operators in PowerShell to actually create functions and all sorts of scripts on the fly. So let's take a look at the comparison operators. The first one is greater than. So let's try this. 10-GT for greater than 20. Now, of course, that's false. 10 isn't greater than 20, so we get a false result. Let's try 20-GT 10. And you can see we get a true result. So you can start to use comparison operators to incorporate programmability into your work with PowerShell. Let's take a look at the other comparison operators. So, for example, there's less than, so it's LT-LT. 10 is less than 20, and of course we get a true. There's equals, so 20-EQ for equals. And here I'm actually going to create a math function, so 15 plus 5. So if I press enter, you can see we get a true back, so that's great. We can actually test equality. I'm going to bring that back up with the up arrow, and this time change that second value to 6, and we'll get a false because obviously 20 is not equal to 21. There's also not equals, so 20-NE for not equals, 15 plus 5. Okay, and we get a false because obviously 20 and 20 are equal. There's greater than or equal to, so let's try this. 30-GE for greater than or equal to 20. We get a true back, and then there's less than or equal to, so 20-LE 30. And we'll get a true value back, so 20 is less than 30. But you can even use the comparison operators with strings, and this becomes very helpful. So for example, start a quotation mark there, hello, dash EQ for equals, hello. So all we're doing is a straight comparison of the two strings, and obviously that'll come back as true. If I bring that back up though, let's change that last character to 0. And we'll get false because obviously the two strings are not equivalent. And you can start to understand the use of these in an example like this. Chrome dash not equal to Firefox. And we get a true because the two aren't equal to each other. So once you start to work with the comparison operators and plug those into the other functionality you're going to learn about PowerShell, you can start to create some fantastic, extremely powerful scripts and commands with single lines or just a couple of lines using the comparison operators as one of your tools. In this video, I'll discuss where object in PowerShell. Where object, and it's typed WHERE dash object, is a PowerShell commandlet. And what it does is select objects that have certain property values. You can pass objects to the command to uncover these objects. So you can use where object to find objects containing certain IDs or, for example, dates. Now, where object has two primary uses as script blocks or comparisons. Script blocks need a property name, an operator that serves as a comparison, and some sort of property. And where object will display all the objects that result in a true value. So let's take a look at that first. So where object, and this is the script block. Get-process. So what we want to do is get all the processes or search in the processes in the computer. And here's where we type in where-object. So all we're doing is getting the processes and piping them into where object. Now, this is a script block. So the idea here is this is how you would write it in a script, for example. And we would use braces. And then inside the braces, I'll use a $sign. So for a string, underscore, and then dot priority class. Now what we want to do is search in the priority classes of the processes to get some sort of result. And in this case, I'll use equality, so dash EQ, and a string. And the string is normal. So all we want to do here is find all the processes that are running at the normal setting. And if I go ahead and press enter, we can see all the various processes laid out in a table with the process names. Now you may have guessed that we can do it another way. So I'm going to bring that back up with the up arrow. And this time I'm going to say NE, so not equal to low. So really with processes in Windows, we have three types: low, normal, and high processor priority. So I'll go ahead and press enter. Now here what happened was we actually got a couple of more results because there are a couple of processes that are running high. And so this combined, because we use not equal, all the normal and high process assignments in Windows. So this resulted in all the normal and high processes, and those get returned back to us. Now, comparison statements are a little easier to craft and understand because they dispense with the braces and special characters. So it's more realistic in the language it uses, and it can do the same thing. So I'll type this in, get-process. Again, we're going to use the pipe and pipe into where-object. But we're going to dispense with the braces. So it's just priority class -EQ. And then normal. And I press enter, and we get the very same results that we got using the script block style of syntax. And just one more example, I'll bring that back up. This time I'm going to change normal to, well, first we'll start with low, because remember when I used the not equals to low, we got all the results back that were normal and high, and as you can see, there are no processes set to low. But if I bring that back up again with the arrow key and type in high, we should get a couple of results back. There we go. So we've got 3 results of processes that have been assigned a high priority with Windows.